Ei você, parado aí. Esse vídeo foi gravado em live e caso você queira participar da próxima, é só você pegar o primeiro link da roxinho aí na descrição e entrar para participar da nossa próxima live. Fechou então? Eu te vejo lá. Pokémon Battle Royale. Death Battle. O canal Death Battle. Ó, começou. Bora, rapaziada. Como dizia Paulo, nunca se fez uma
For
mamada.
nearly 2 decades, people across the globe have struggled endlessly to make one crucial, exhausting, impossible.
Vamos sincronizar o áudio aí, deixar rodando bem bonitinho, porque você já demora pra rodar. Se você roda errado ainda, aí não adianta. Bom, você sabe, né?
For nearly 2 decades, people across the globe have struggled endlessly to make one crucial, exhausting, impossible choice.
Bulbasaur, Squirtle, or Charmander.
Que eu não acho nem um
It's
pouco
finally time
possível,
to
né,
learn if
mano?
the
É
one
óbvio que a
you
resposta é
chose is
Charmander.
really the strongest.
And what better way than with their evolved forms? Venusaur, the pimply plant monster. Blastoise, the bazooka turtle. And Charizard, the dragon.
For a fair assessment, we're
dragão.
examining maxed out wild Pokémon. For those of you nerdy enough to care, this means no special EV training, no Mega Evolutions, and no
Justo.
tutor, bred, or otherwise unnaturally learned attacks. This way, we'll avoid any and all player influence.
He's
Nice.
with and
Just-
I'm
just-
Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Vai Blastoise, Venusaur, uma certa Charizard. Você vai ver que esse Charizard vai ganhar isso muito
The
fácil.
first starter
Diz-
Pokemon evolves from
2
Bulbasaur
a
to
0.
Ivysaur and finally to Venusaur, the seed Pokemon.
Becoming uglier and uglier with every form. Seriously,
Ah,
what the
pô,
hell
não
is
fala
that
mal
thing?
dele.
Of the 3 starters, Venusaur is the most well-rounded and easiest to raise.
Sim,
In
sim,
combat,
sim.
it relies on its above-average special attack and special defense, or non-physical combat.
Old Froggy Plant has a variety of moves. Vine Whips for slapping bitches, and Razor Leaf can cut through whole trees. Then there's the less action-packed skills like Sleep Powder, which is used to put foes to sleep and take women home from bars.
Venusaur's adaptability is its greatest asset. It can absorb health with Leech Seed like some kind of jungle vampire, or simply heal on its own by using synthesis. It also knows Sweet Scent, which aids the poor accuracy of the sleep and poison powders.
But why bother with poisons and powders when you've got a super laser? Venusaur can absorb so much sun energy that he can fire the solar beam.
E os sprites são de nova pra mudar tudo.
When I find flowers that can do that, I might actually take up gardening. Try and pollinate now, bees.
In real life, celestially powered lasers rely on heated magnesium combustion. In order to fire, the solar beam's temperature needs to be over 6,700 degrees
Caralho.
Fahrenheit.
Ah, tá. Fahrenheit.
Unfortunately, the solar beam is so powerful
O que ainda é muito quente se transformar em Celsius, mas não é tão números como eu tava em Fahrenheit.
as a grass and poison type, Venusaur is extremely effective against water-type Pokemon.
But keep them away from flying and fire types, because as we all know, plants burn and birds fucking hate grass.
Yet, Venusaur's well-rounded skills and tricky moveset could outsmart the
Eu acho que é algo
competition.
por aí.
Venusaur, the final form of the Bulbasaur evolution. This seed Pokemon soaks up the sun's rays as a source of energy.
The second starter
Lá
Pokemon
está
evolves
o
from
Pokémon mais
Squirtle to
bucha de
Wartortle and finally
todos.
to Blastoise, the shellfish
Isso.
Pokemon.
So how did this thing come about? Did a turtle get really drunk one night and then came across a tank and was like, yeah, I'll put my dick in that? Then 9 months later, the tank showed up at his door and was like, boom, this is yours. And then he raised it out of shame until one day it evolved, and then all the other turtles were like, that's fucking awesome. So then they all started plowing tanks.
Sure, why not? Blastoise firmly boasts defense over offense, using his weighty bulk to outlast and overpower foes. Like a stone firm upon the shore, he can take wave after wave of punishment.
As poetic as that was, he won't be winning any
Simplesmente o Pokémon
marathons.
mais
He's almost
tanques.
as slow as a tortoise, which makes sense, unlike the giant gun sticking out of his back.
Blastoise can significantly reduce incoming damage with iron defense, barrel through hazards with rapid spin, and guard against any and all attacks with protect.
He can chomp foes with bite and crack heads with skull bash, but most of his arsenal focuses on water power, blasting foes with water gun, water pulse, aqua tail, and bubbles.
But despite its lack in attack-type diversity, Blastoise can maximize its watery weaponry with Rain Dance, a rainstorm that amplifies water-type moves and blocks out the sun.
But his ultimate attack is Hydro Pump, where he blasts water out of his twin cannons with enough force to accurately punch through steel at a range of 160 feet.
Caralho.
High-pressure water jet cutters are used industrially to cut through metal with at least 55,000 psi, or pounds per square inch. By measuring his cannons in comparison to his size, we can tell his hydro pump has a power of 90,000 psi.
That'll get the stains off your patio, along with your patio and possibly house.
Black, effective against fire-type Pokemon, but weak to grass and electric.
And when he's not battling, Blastoise can be found training on secluded islands to strengthen his combat skills.
Ainda
If it
bem que
plays
os
its defenses
Pokémon não
right,
lutam contra
Blastoise
humanos.
just might
Isso aí tá
outlast
fodido.
everyone.
Blastoise's strength lies in its power rather than its speed. Its shell is like armor, and attacks from the hydro cannon on its back are virtually unstoppable.
Literalmente.
The final starter Pokemon evolves
melhor
from
de
Charmander
todos.
to Charmeleon and finally to Charizard, the flame Pokemon.
I would so ride that into battle.
Well, that could be tough. A full-grown Charizard is only 5 foot 7 inches tall.
What? That's bullshit. I want to ride a dragon to burn the villages of my enemies, not hang out with it on the sofa.
Despite its size, Charizard is extremely fast and extremely powerful. Its speed and special attack eclipse the other two starters twice over, the trade-off being
Caralho.
unfortunate frailty.
But since he can fly, it's pretty hard to get a hold of him.
Charizard's moveset is incredibly diverse, ranging from the obvious Fire Breath to flying, dragon, and even ghost-type attacks.
At close range, he'll always have an edge up by using either Slash, Dragon Claw, or Shadow Claw. He can strike from above with Wing Attack or Air Slash, but his real strength lies in the flames. He'll burn and bite you with Fire Fang, trap you in a vortex of embers with Fire Spin, smash you apart with Flare Blitz,
At the cost of self-inflicted recoil damage.
and of course burn you to cinders with
que é
Flame Burst
por
or
toque.
Flamethrower.
Charizard can
Loucura
reportedly
de-
burn through solid stone.
É sério,
This means his
acreditar
flamethrower
todo
reaches
canal que eu
temperatures
olho pra dar
over
rede, sempre tem
2,000
maldito
degrees
doido do chat
Fahrenheit.
pra contas verificadas.
Charizards are aggressive and warrior-like, and will actively seek
verificadas.
fights with stronger opponents.
The fire and flying type combination makes Charizard doubly effective against grass Pokemon, but weak to water types. If it spends too much
Já
time in a
procurei
heavy
vídeos em
rainstorm,
BR em
its
5
flame
categorias
will
de
go
diferentes
out
sem ter chat pra contas
permanently.
verificadas.
But he's so fast and deadly, he might just overpower his enemies before they know what hit him.
Charizard, the flame Pokemon. When competing in intense battles, Charizard's flame becomes more intense as well.
Nice.
All right, the combatants are set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
It's time for a death battle with the Pokemon.
Ah. Eu já ia perguntar se a batalha ia ser com os iniciais, mas pelo visto é realmente tipo a final form. Hora do Death Battle. Caralho. Ensolarado. Caralho. Maceta Charizard? Não existe chance de Maceta Charizard. É isso! A corre da ajuda já foi, meu irmão. Ele já levou primeiro. O dinossauro já era. Tá. Ah não, ele vai ter que se mexer no balão d'água. Isso foi nojento.
Charizard! No! Oh, and Froggy plant whatever a sword.
Charizard's greater speed allowed first attack, and its proud warrior mentality led to striking Blastoise first.
But Venusaur knew he had to take Charizard down right away, so everyone's favorite fire lizard was doomed, taking too much damage early on from 2 different angles.
But poor Venusaur didn't stand a chance against Charizard's dual typing, and the bulky defense of Blastoise was more than enough to outlast both of them. Also, since Charizard and Venusaur do not naturally learn Sunny Day, they could not counter the Rain Dance.
But Wizard, shouldn't they all just counter each other?
Yes, the rock, paper, scissors factor is a bit tricky. Grass beats water, water beats fire, fire beats grass. But ultimately, the core of any Pokemon battle boils down to mathematics. Every attack does a specific amount of damage with specific effects to specific types with a specific accuracy.
And each Pokemon's stats are clearly displayed in the good old Pokédex.
So, by comparing every move, effect, choice order, and likeliness of occurrence, there are over 7,000 different possible ways this Battle Royale could play out. And out of all potential matches, Blastoise wins the majority.
Even when removing type effectiveness entirely and pitting attack and special attack against defense and special defense, factoring in health and speed, the turtle tank still takes it. Blastoise H2 owned.
The winner is Blastoise.
Eu adoro como ele traduz Blastoise
Next
para
time on
toque.
Death Battle.
Eu vi isso quando eu era criança e eu fiquei com muita agonia de ver meu antigo favorito morrer tão brutalmente.
We're gonna kill all the characters like no one ever did.
Rapaziada que tá vendo isso aqui no YouTube, me segue na Twitch, me segue no Instagram, me segue no Discord, entra lá no Discord, onde memes, vídeo original na descrição. E é isso, se inscreva no canal e deixa o like.